Jai Janindra, everyone. Welcome to today's session. Today, I'm going to be talking about Jainism and fasting, how fasting is an important part of Jainism, but also the health benefits of fasting. Before I talk about Jainism and fasting, let's start with one Nauka mantra. Namo Arihantaram, Namo Siddharam, Namo Ayaryaram, Namo Uvvajayaram, Namo Loya Savva Sahoram, Eso Pancha Namo Karo, Savva Pava Parasano, Mangalaram Cha Savvesim, Vadamam Havai Mangalam. So I will be talking about fasting, the importance of fasting for Jains, and the health benefits. Before I talk about any of this, I want to take a minute or two of everyone's time and ask what all of you know about fasting. What are the different types of fasts we have? Relate it to the Western world. I'm happy for people to unmute themselves and give some answers or put them in a chat. So if you take a minute to put it all down in a chat or unmute yourselves. Okay, no one's put anything in the chat, so I'm going to assume people don't know much about the fasting or the benefits of fasting.
Suben has said Ambel Tithi Paryushan.
Okay, yeah. There's a message from T saying Western fasting, intermittent fasting, correct. Yeah. Anyone else got any more? Okay, so I'm going to start sharing my slides. Hopefully you can see my slides. KB, you said various Hindu fasts, and T, you've said it's to discipline. I agree with all of that. So fasting is important, but not just from a Jain point of view. It's also important from a health point of view. T, you mentioned intermittent fasting, and it has been scientifically proven that intermittent fasting helps with so much, like the metabolic rates, the digestive system. It detoxifies our bodies. Intermittent fasting, however, has only become worldly wide known over the last 12 or 13 years, whereas Jain fasts have been in place for much longer. So why do we fast? Can anyone tell me why we fast? sorry. So the reason why we fast as Jains is because, yeah, T, you're correct. Better health, metabolism, purification. KB and Sushilaben both have said discipline. Agreed. So the importance of fasting is we're always eating. We want to always try new foods, or even just wanting to eat. If we fast, we prove to ourselves that we can control our taste buds. We can control ourselves, as KB and Sushilaben said. It's about discipline. Fasting also provides a means to reduce our karmas, and that's what, from a Jain point of view, we all want to do. We want to reduce our karmas, purify our mind, body, and souls, so that we can achieve liberation, go to moksha. So they're the few reasons why fasting is important from a Jain point of view. So Jainism has a number of different fasts. Can anyone tell me what the different types of fasts we have in Jainism are? I'm happy for people to unmute themselves if they want to. Dipa, you said I am Bill yet. Govit Ektara yet. Harsha Ekasru Biasru. Yeah. Hasu, not to eat after sunset. Yep. Anyone else? Warshitap Sushilabinya. So all of you have given me answers, right answers, and today I will be discussing each of these various different fasts. Dipa, you said Atai, absolutely correct as well. So let's start with the basic. Nolkasi and I can't remember what the name is for the one where you don't eat after sunset, but basically Nolkasi is when you don't eat anything from a period after sunset to 48 minutes after sunrise. This is one of the basic types of fasts that Jains normally do. The reason we don't eat anything after sunset is that's when beings such as one sense beings come to life. There's more one sense beings in the dark, and we don't see them when we're eating. So this is one way to avoid violence, killing one sense beings, because we may accidentally consume them while we're eating our food. So the Ben and Sushilaben have said, Aratmi, thank you for putting that into the chat. That is Aratmi that I was thinking of, where you can't eat after sunset. The next fast that I'm going to talk about is Ekasra and Beasra. Ekasra is a fast where one is allowed to eat one meal a day. This meal is a sit-down meal. It cannot be eaten while standing up. You can have freshly cooked food. So when I say freshly cooked food, it is food that is cooked on the day. So if you're making something like idli, you have to soak the food for idli on the same day. Now the meal must be completed by having boiled water. In a Bayasra, you're allowed to eat twice in the day. Again, the meal must be completed by drinking water. Meals have to be eaten or consumed between 11:30 a.m. and must be completed 1 hour before sunset. There are certain fruits that you can eat in these fasts. The fruits must be chopped 48 minutes prior to you eating, with the exception of bananas, which can be peeled and consumed at the time that you're having your sit-down meal. You can drink, you can have tea and coffee with your sit-down meals as well. You can have nuts. Nuts are only permitted to be eaten at certain times of the year. So there's a period called Jomasu, which is a monsoon season. Monsoon is normally 8 months long, and during this time, nuts cannot be consumed. Salads are not to be eaten, with the exception of things like cucumber and tomatoes. But when you're eating cucumbers and tomatoes, you have to remember that you have to cook the cucumbers and you have to cook the tomatoes. So what is the benefit of doing an ekasro or a beasro? Can anyone tell me? Okay, so if we're doing an ekasro, Harsha, you've said discipline, correct. It is all to do with discipline, because you are limited the number of times you're eating. You're also limiting what you're eating. You're limiting what Jainism teaches you is to limit what you eat. Why are we limiting things? It's so that we discipline our minds. If we can discipline our minds, we can discipline our body and soul. And that way we know we can try and control our passions, try and control we can try and control our ego and greed. And as Harsha has said, it's all about discipline. KB, why does water have to be consumed seated? When you're doing any kind of fast, I don't know the exact reason behind why water has to be consumed while seated. I'm just going according to what researchers told me, and also what I know of fast. When we eat, when we drink, everything has to be while seated. We cannot move. We're not allowed to move from one place to another when we're eating or drinking water. But I'm happy to find out why it's all while we're seated. Why do fruits need to be cut 48 minutes before? Again, this is something that I will find out. I think it's got something to do with the himsa, because all fruits and vegetables or fruits will have some kind of living being in them. And by cutting the fruits up and leaving it for 48 minutes, it allows the living beings to disappear. But I will find out for you, T. So next one is Ayambil. No worries. Ayambil is a festival that comes twice in a year, during the Chaitra month, which is around March, April, and the Aso Mas month, which is around September or October. During Ayambil, you can consume one plain sit-down meal that has been cooked on the same day. This is slightly different to what you can eat during Ekasram, Beasra, because in an Ekasram, Beasra, you can eat shak, rotli, dar, bhat with no root. In Ambel, you can have rotli, but you can't put ghee or butter on rotli. You can have your lentils, like your mug, your dar, your jara, but you cannot put any seasoning into the shaks that you make. You can put things like roasted salt, but you can't use normal salt. You can't put chili powder, you can't put turmeric. So the food has to be simple, plain. Who knows why we're not allowed to have things like chilies and chili powders and turmeric in Ambel? Okay, so it all comes back down to discipline. It's about, about suppressing the taste buds. And again, if we're able to control our taste buds, we know we can control our inner passions, our greed, our ego. And that's everything we want to try and get rid of. What does Ambel do for the body? Apart from controlling our taste buds, it's got health benefits. It improves your skin, it improves your digestive system. And there are other health benefits that I haven't listed or talked about. With Ambel, again, you have to finish your meal with boiled water. So during an Ambel Oli, which is 9 days of doing Ambel, and these are 9 continuous days, there's certain foods or certain colors that should be consumed. For example, day 1 is the Arihant, but Arihants, like, they signify purity, and they're symbolized by the color white. So when we have an Ambel meal on day 1, we should always try and consume rice, which is white. Day 2 is the Siddha bud. Siddhas, their color is symbolized by red, and it's signifying the peace, motionless state therein. So we can eat things like red lentils, kidney beans. Day 3 is the Acharya bud. Their color is symbolized by yellow, so you can eat things like Janada. Day 4 is the Upadhyay bud. Their color is green, so you should really try and eat things that are green in color, like mug. Day 5 is the Sadhu bud. Their color is black. Now, black means you can eat things like urad dal. Day 6 represents Samyak Nan, which is the right faith. Day 7, Samyak Nan, which is right knowledge. Sorry, day 6 was Samyak Darshan, right faith. Day 7 was Samyak Nan, right knowledge. Day 8 is Samyak Charitra, which is right conduct. And day 9, represents samyak tap, right, austerity. All of these mean we're trying to purify our souls. So we should be eating things with that contain white, so things like rice. That's what we should have in our meals. Next one, upvas. So as Jains, many of us will do an upvas during Paryushan. Upvas is a fast where one doesn't consume any food but drinks boiled water from 48 minutes after sunrise to sunset. If you're drinking boiled water, you're doing a Divihar upvas. Upvases can also be done without drinking boiled water at all. This is known as a Jovihar upvas. Again, water has to be consumed whilst seated. If anyone's got any questions at any point, please do stop me. I'm going to give it a few seconds, just in case anyone's got questions. Okay. Upvas. There are different types of upvas that people do. There's two continuous upvas, which is known as a chat. People will do 3 continuous upvas, known as an uttam. Some people will do a chat uttam, which is 2 continuous upvas, followed by a break, followed by 3 continuous upvas. Majority of people during the Paryushan festival will be doing chokais and attais. Chokai is an upvas where you're fasting 6 continuous days, and an attai is an continuous fast of 8 days with no food. Vardhamanta. Who knows what a Vardhamanta is? A Vardhamanta is a type of fast where you're doing Ambel for up to 100 days. But you build this up. So you start off with 1 Ambel followed by 1 upvas, 2 Ambels followed by 1 upvas, 3 Ambels followed by 1 upvas, 4 Ambels followed by 1 upvas, and 5 Ambels followed by 1 upvas. These 5 must be done in a sequence. When you start this, you cannot break this. But after the 5 Ambel and 1 upvas, you're allowed to break it. And then, these 5 are known as the payo, meaning laying of the foundation. Now, once you've laid the foundation, you can take a break. If you want to continue doing the Vardhamanta, you can do so at a later stage. You don't need to start from 1 Ambel again and 1 upvas. You can continue from 6 Ambel, 1 upvas. You can take a break, then go on to 7 Ambel, 1 upvas. Each time you do these Ambels, you must complete it by doing an upvas at the end. Once you've completed the 100 upvas and followed by the 100 Ambel followed by the 1 upvas, you can do this up again in the same way outlined. So laying the payo again and then building up to 100. Does this make sense to everyone? Okay, so next one, Siddhita. Siddhita is really similar to Vardhamanta. The key difference is what you do when you're fasting, or the type of fast that is involved. So instead of an ambel, you're doing one upvas followed by one vayasana. You're doing this constantly until you get to 8 upvas and 1 vayasana. In this fast, you're not allowed to break. You're not allowed to have a break. So you've got to do this continuously for the until you finish the 8 upvas and 1 vayasana. Varshita. Varshita is a fast that is done continuously over 13 months. Each day contains of a different type of fast. So one day you may have to do a vayasana, the second day you may have to do an upvas, third day you may have to do an ambel. There's no breaks in this. When does Varshita start? It starts on the day of Rishabdev Bhagwan's Diksha Kalyanak, which is Fagan Vad Atom, around March or April. Vishtanak. Vishtanak is a fast that all our Tirthankars have done in lives prior to them becoming Tirthankars. This is a fast that has 20 buds. For example, Arihant is a bud, Siddha is a bud. So you have 20 of these different buds. Each bud involves fasting for 20 days. Now, these 20 days can be spread over a period of 6 months, which is the maximum time. Although it is possible to complete the 20-day fast in a month, maybe 2 months, there's always a choice given as to what fast you do, whether you start with an ekasro, ambel, upvas. Now, regardless of what fast you choose, let's say you've chosen to start off with an ekasro, you can change your fast, but it has to be one level harder than what you're doing. So let's say you've chosen to do an ekasro in this fast. The next time you want to do this fast, you want to do a different type, you can do an ambel or an upvas. But let's say you started off with an upvas, then you cannot go down, so you cannot do this fast going down to an ayambal. You've got to continue the fast doing upvas for all 20 days, all 20 buds. On the 20th day of each bud, you should end the fast with an upvas, regardless of what you've chosen as your fast. So KB's asked a question. Every day you are doing one of the fasts for 13 months. Yeah, KB, you've got to do a fast every day for the 13 months. I'm not sure if that was your question or whether I've misinterpreted your question, KB. Okay. So throughout this time topic, I've spoken about all the fasts that we as Jains do. I've even said that we drink boiled water. There are health benefits associated with drinking boiled water. Who knows some of the health benefits, or who, if you put it in a chat, the health benefits of drinking boiled water and why you think we drink boiled water? I'm happy for you to unmute yourselves and tell me as well. Less bacteria helps digestion, weight loss, yeah? Helps with digestion, boiling kills anything unwanted in the water, killing germs, yep. Helps metabolism. Yeah. So all of you are right in what you've said. It's what I have is not limited, helps the gut, yeah. So it helps our central nervous system function. It helps with circulation. As most of you have said, it helps in digestion. It helps treat cold. It purifies our body. And it boiling the water also gets rid of the 1 sense, 2 sense living beings, the bacteria that we have in cold water. So that's why in every single fast we do, unless you do an upwas where you drink no water, you have to consume boiled water. You cannot consume cold water. Before I talk about the last slide, if anyone's got questions, I am happy to take questions. Or if anyone needs anything clarified. Okay, so what have we learned from this? So we know Jainism is a way of life, a way in which we can progress spiritually. The spiritual progression does not have to be done through rituals. When I talk about rituals, I mean, during Paryushan, we do pratikama. It is said that it gets rid of our sins and our karmas are reduced by doing pratikama. But you can also do it through the various fasting methods that we've discussed. What is good about Jainism is there's no fast and set rule of you have to do this fast, like you have to do an ekasana or you have to do an upwas. It is entirely up to you which fast you choose to do, but knowing that by fasting you're getting rid of your karmas, you're giving yourself health benefits, and you're controlling your mind. You're trying to control your egos, your inner passions, and that's what your ultimate aim is, to be able to control your mind, get rid of your passions, greed, and develop spiritually. So Shilabin, you can't drink water after sunset when fasting. Correct. You're not. So between sunset and Nalkasi, you shouldn't be consuming water or any foods if you're fasting. So that's the end of my presentation on my slides. But if anyone's got questions, please ask and I'll try and answer them. Are you able to share them, send them to us? I will share them with Sandip Bhai and I'll get him to share them in the group. There'll also be a recording on YouTube. Can we take medication outside of eating times? I know you can take medication when you're sitting down to eat. And I think you can have medication, but I will find out again. By boiling water, you're not creating more ahimsa. Sushalabin, do you want to explain why you think you're creating ahimsa? I'm happy for you to unmute yourself, Sushalabin.
Yes, by boiling water, you are killing the germs, aren't you?
Yes, and I think this is something that I've touched on.
That is ahimsa, isn't it?
Yes, because you're killing it, but at the same time, you're killing the bacteria that you would have consumed if there's more bacteria in cold water than there is by boiling water. So you're creating less ahimsa by drinking boiling water as opposed to drinking cold water.
Yeah, okay, but you're still creating.
There's a little bit of ahimsa, yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Darshana.
Hi.
Hi. The question about the medication. I know that during Pajushan as well, there is a pachkan which we can take that
Yeah.
In the middle of the night or whenever you need to take medicine, you can take. You can
Brilliant.
take.
Thank you. Sorry, Dabin. Sorry, Dabin. Does that include when you're fasting as well? So like aside, so let's say you finished fasting. So this information is actually new to me. You've eaten your meal, but after like a couple of hours later, you need to take medication. You're allowed to take medication?
Yeah. So yeah, during any fasting, that's what my knowledge is, that you can take, because there is a pachkan which you can take, and you can take medicine, because obviously if without medicine you are harming your own body. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you. Sorry, Dabin. And sorry, Dabin, you've actually touched on a point that I totally forgot about. When you are doing these fasts, any of these fasts, there's various different pachkans that you should take. And pachkan is like a form of commitment that you will do these fasts. Thank you. Sorry, Dabin.
Pachkan is also in a form of a discipline that, you've taken a vow and you will obey by it.
Correct. Thank you so much. Sorry,
Thank
Dabin.
you. Thanks, Darsha.
If anyone's got any more questions, please do ask. Okay, so KB, very interesting topic. And Shah, yeah. Thank you. If no one's got any more questions, Oh, Hasmukh Bhai, Himsa in boiling water, but once the water is boiled, there is no further formation of life, where in normal water there is constant formation of life. Thank you, Hasmukh Bhai, for the clarification. Okay, so if no one's got any more questions, should we end this with one Nalka mantra? Namo Arihantaram, Namo Siddharam, Namo Ayaryaram, Namo Uvajjayaram, Namo Loya Sarva Sahuram. Eso Pancha Namo Karo, Sarva Pava Panasano, Mangalaram Cha Sabvesim, Padamam Havai Mangalam. Our next session will be in 2 weeks' time. Sandip Pai will give more information in the group chat nearer the time. Thank you everyone so much for joining today. And if I've said anything wrong, then please forgive me. Michami Dukram.